Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brain.
Well, hello there, mutants. Final Guys is back in the saddle once again, unfortunately for all of you. I am horror author Jason Brant, joined as always by erotic horror author Hunter Shea.
I wish I'd be rich as hell.
There's a lot of money in erotic, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And Monster Man Jack Campisi.
Erotic enthusiast.
What was the one story of yours I was reading, Hunter? Oh God, it was the one with was it All the Animals or I Kill in Peace? Maybe there was a sex scene in the kitchen with the guy's wife, and I was like, "What in the fuck?"
Well, in I Kill in Peace, there's a sex scene in the kitchen with a guy and a little boy.
Okay, that could be what I'm remembering horribly.
Yeah, that was like one of those scenes I wrote. I'm like, yeah, I'm hoping my editor will tell me no.
Based on true events.
He was like, yeah, that's fine.
I wish someone had told me no. This week, we are doing a little movie that probably none of you have seen, judging by the box office. Unfriended Dark Web, the sequel to the 2014 surprise hit. But before we get into that, we're going to do the usual news, the usual curation, as everyone loves, and then we'll jump into it. You want to do the horror drinking rules there?
I'll do
Hunter?
it. Yeah, hold on. As I'm trying to get a beer, I'm knocking stuff around.
Oh, we all hear it.
Thank you. That's all right. You should listen. Did you listen to Gilbert Gottfried's podcast? He's got 1 million listeners, and it's a mess. Okay. Here are the drinking rules. If either of us say these particular words, you're going to have to drink. So when Jack says recommend Buffy, and chat, drink up. When I say paranormal, trephination, you don't have any shot of that one. Or guy. I don't know what the hell that.
I don't even know what that word means.
Is it like tree panning or something? I don't know. Whatever. Jason, if you say Sharon or Charon, Charon, a drive-in or sign, and if, oh God, I know we're all saying this one right off the bat, gun, Gunn, found or laptop. Drink away.
So Sheridan is trying to predict the news.
He definitely
and
is.
call out, which almost makes me want to change the news, but no.
You can't.
It's too much.
I can open my beer here.
Before we jump into the news here, I saw you guys are dropping some Monster Men episodes finally. Congrats.
Yeah, it's about time. Trust me, we're getting in the swing now. Especially once fall hits, you're going to hate us.
The latest episode is great because we have ghost stories that we heard from the barbershop and the podiatrist.
Podiatrist.
Not even joking.
Oh, that's pretty hard to beat. All right,
It's
Jack.
awesome.
What do you got
don't
for
get that
us?
with young people podcasts.
Yeah.
Podiatrist.
Got bad feet.
My cardiologist says this great story.
Oh, God. That's
My
amazing.
urologist is giving me the medicine. I don't get to see.
Oh, Jack, please take us away.
Oh boy, there's a lot of old stuff coming back from the dead. This one you guys might be into. Shudder and Greg Nicotero are bringing back Creepshow as an anthology series in 2019.
No way.
Hell yeah.
Now, Nicotero, of course, is the special effects guy currently doing Walking Dead, and he's been involved with all the stuff we love going way back. As far as I'm concerned, I'll give it a shot, and I'll have an open mind, but I'm not getting overly excited about anything until I watch it these days.
You know what? To me, it depends who's writing the episodes.
Yeah.
Not so much who's in the episodes. You can do great episodes without name actors. Maybe they should get the Landry sisters again. You remember that?
Landers,
that's it.
Judy Landers.
Audrey and Judy.
So,
From
I mean,
Vegas.
as an anthology series, I love horror anthology series. So anytime I get a new one, I'm down, particularly because sometimes you'll get like a terrible episode, but then the next one might be the shit. So, Tales from the Crypt was kind of famously like that, at least towards the end. They'd have a killer one and then one that like you didn't give a damn about. So please let this be good.
You know what? I miss Tales from the Dark Side at night. The 80s, man. Just watching that before you go to sleep.
Sunday nights, Tales from the Dark Side. It was like at 10 or 11 o'clock. I think it was 11 o'clock.
Oh, wait. Speaking of horror anthologies, either of you watching Bobcat Goldthwait's Myths and Monsters or whatever that is?
No, is that where is that?
It's on True TV. So they have Impractical Jokers, The Carbonaro Effect, and now this. But I watched the first one with Seth Green. It's really funny. It was really good.
Oh, that reminds me. I don't know about you guys, but we thought that the In Search Of was going to be on Sunday night, and it turns out it was on Friday night.
Right, and I missed it.
Me too. So I went back and DVR'd, so I have it all set now. So I'll get whenever they replay the first one, I'll get it, and then. So did anybody see it?
No.
I know. I guarantee you, people in the chat room saw it. But what channel is it on again?
History, I think.
History. Okay. Yeah, that's History. Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find it somewhere.
Okay, so since you mentioned Seth Green, that just got me thinking of let's get to the drinking game and talk about James Gunn for a second. James Gunn,
Gunn?
Yes,
Gunn?
yes. The director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 was fired by Disney because they unearthed some tweets of his from like 10 years ago where he made jokes that were in poor taste.
They're horrible.
They're horrible, but they're 10 years old, and he admits that he made
jokes, for fuck's sake.
They're jokes. So Bobcat Goldthwait, actually, I'm sorry, that's what made me think of it. Bobcat Goldthwait has the best response to this. He wrote to Disney, and I guess his voice is being used in some Disney ride coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you might want to not use my voice then because I've made jokes in poor taste in the past. And also James Woods' voice, who you use on some other ride. Go back and read some of his stuff or whatever.
Right.
Meanwhile, everybody is posting stuff from Song of the South and all that other, skeletons in the closet that Disney has about this. And so it's just a very, whether his jokes were in good taste or not, we are now hitting the freaking summit of, I don't even know what to call this. Like,
we're in a terrifying world because now you can be crucified for things that you put anywhere, even in a random email, and it's our office email.
Yeah.
10 or more years down the line, you're afraid to talk to anybody in the workplace. It's fucking bananas.
This shit drives me insane. And every time I bitch about this stuff, everyone thinks I'm defending these people. And it's like, no, I don't give a shit what James Gunn or anybody else puts on Twitter. Particularly if they're jokes. I mean, for Christ's sake, can everybody just calm the hell down? Like, why does everyone have to get? I don't even know what his politics are. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care what anybody's are. I hate this. That exactly like you said, we can't even talk now. We can't make jokes now without 10 years later it biting you in the ass. I mean,
if it doesn't bite you immediately.
Okay, if you're making pedophile jokes, that's pretty gross. But they're still jokes. And 10 years ago, what people found funny compared to now is so entirely different. So it's like you could go back and just crush anyone, particularly people who grew up before Twitter. Like you can just crush anyone.
Pedophile jokes. He's not a pedophile.
Exactly.
Right? So
exactly.
Who the hell cares?
This shit drives me crazy because we're all going to miss out on an amazing Guardians 3 most likely. I don't know who's going to take over for it, but because the guy said something stupid 10 years ago. This shit just pisses me off.
Go give it to the guy who just directed Unfriended Dark Web.
I'll tell you what, I've been listening to Joe Rogan's podcast lately, which is very good if you've ever.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that
although
show.
It's 3 friggin' hours an episode.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll just space it out in a couple of commutes or whatever. Because he's been talking a lot about Roseanne Barr and how.
That's another one.
Is it Ambien that she was on?
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's had like drug experts who talk about how messed up that stuff is and how much her life is ruined by something. Now, whatever you think of what she said, the fact is she shouldn't be, taken outside and stoned.
Also a comedian.
Yeah.
trying to say something funny. She missed the mark. You get the
Also, a comedian who's known for saying outlandish, ridiculous shit. Like, you
Right.
have to know when you hire Roseanne Barr, she's going to say something stupid. It's what she does.
It just feels like
Yeah.
it feels like the punishment is a little heavier than it should be for this kind of stuff, because it's like, you didn't actually go rob a bank or burn somebody's house down or something like that. Like a little reprimand. Okay, I understand with the network and sponsors and stuff, it's a little bit of a different situation in that case, but just everything in general, this is getting out of control. With the humor police need to take a step backwards.
Well, this could mark the end of social media, because who's really going to want to go on there? And if you are, you're just going to post bland crap that no one cares about.
Yeah,
I get asked all the time. I don't really use social media that much anymore, and people ask why. And that last election, people were so fucking crazy that I just stopped using it then, and I was going to wait till the election was over, and I just haven't really got back on it because people are such dicks, and they just monitor every word you say. Like, your intent doesn't matter anymore. It's just if you say something they don't like, doesn't matter what you meant, you're screwed.
We are Big Brother.
All I can say is, thank God I am my own boss. So when I do dickhead things and it pisses someone off, I'm just like, oh well.
Exactly.
So I don't know. The whole thing pisses me off. I hate going off on a tangent about it, but this is the one that like really broke the camel's back for me.
I'm hoping that this backlash, I would love to see them bring him back, and
They're not.
And Ben, they won't, but you're right. So the other reason why Sheridan made the drinking word is because Buffy the Vampire Slayer is being rebooted.
Oh.
And
with Sarah Michelle Gellar?
No. You'll never guess what they're going to do. They're going to reboot it with an African-American actress.
But
at least it's not a dude.
Okay.
Because that's the thing they do now. Starbucks got to be a woman. They always have to just take the character and change something about it, the race or the gender or something. They can't just make like a Buffy sequel that's in the same universe. We all agree like that's like the best way to go. The Ghostbusters movie with all the women should have just been in the Ghostbusters world.
Yep.
And 15 years later or whatever.
It should have not been.
That's
the best way to go. As is probably this Buffy thing.
Did you see the new Charmed trailer?
No.
To pun intended, it has none of the charm of the old show. It really doesn't.
I don't doubt it.
Charmed had that kitsch thing to it that you knew you were watching some schlock, but it was fun.
Right.
And this has none. It just looks like a CW teen drama with no sense of humor.
Well, that's where they make their money.
Joss Whedon's going to be the like an executive producer, so basically he's looking over the fence. You guys need anything? All right, I'll be over here doing other stuff.
I was going to say, is he out of Twitter jail yet? Didn't he get in trouble like a year ago and had to quit Twitter or something?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, something happened with him.
How are we still on Twitter?
I'm my own boss. Kiss my ass.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
A quick throwback. Sheridan had a great idea. Who should take over Guardians 3? How about Rian Johnson from The Last Jedi?
Jeez.
We need to run something into the ground.
Good Lord. Yeah, why not?
So anyway,
Star-Lord.
Buffy, when's that dropping?
Star-Lord has midichlorians. Let's see. I don't see a date.
Oh, no.
Sometime in the future.
How will I know when not to watch it?
Yeah.
We'll tell
I'm
you.
so not excited.
We'll forget that we reported this in like a year from now. Be like, hey, there's a Buffy sequel.
And we'll all be like, wow, really?
Okay, my favorite topic, the Annabelle movies.
Really?
Annabelle 3 is in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Annabelle 3 is going to take place in the Warrens Basement Museum, where Annabelle has been placed in a supposedly safe place where she can't do any harm, but she's able to activate the other cursed artifacts in the museum to terrorize the Warrens' 10-year-old daughter.
Night at the Warrens Museum.
That's exactly what they equated it to, was Night at the Museum, haunted one Night at the Museum.
Well, can we dig up Mickey Rooney? I know Dick Van Dyke is still alive.
Yeah, no Robin Williams, but it actually would be...
Oh.
So will she
Terribly
animate the other objects by using what I'm guessing is the remote control that animates her in the box?
You know what I
Yes.
would love? An hour and a half of just seeing her sitting in a box.
Just a
Nothing.
Raggedy Ann doll sitting there.
Yeah. No, we have to get this hyper ugly, super evil looking Annabelle doll.
I'd rather
That's
see
one thing I didn't like about it.
I'd rather see a movie that's about like the Warren's housekeeper who goes down there and knocks something over and breaks it, and then it's an hour and a half of them trying to fix it, running to the store to get parts to fix it.
How about this, Jack? Lorraine's chicken
Yeah,
gets out of the cage in the kitchen, goes down into the basement, pecks open the cage, and Annabelle goes crazy.
yes, I would take that any day.
And then Chucky bends her over.
I was just thinking, what if the batteries ran out? They didn't have any more.
Listen, the rebooted. Oh, so the rebooted Chucky that we were talking about.
Yeah.
From what I heard, I think what's going on is one group has the rights to the title Child's Play, but they don't have the rights to Chucky. So there's going to be like Chucky movies and Child's Play movies with some sort of
Charlie.
evil. Yeah. I can't confirm that, but that's what the last I heard on. I forget where the heck I heard it from.
You can't make this shit up. You really can't.
No.
It sounds like something you'd read on The Onion.
Although it's nice to see people are thinking they can cash in on horror now. You know, we can make some money here.
Last year was so big. Now all the ridiculous ideas are getting made.
Did you guys see the coming attraction for The Nun yet?
I did.
I did.
I saw it in the theater, I don't
Me
know,
too.
a couple of movies ago. People lost their shit in the coming attraction. This
There
movie is
is-
going to make bank.
Actually, an extremely effective jump scare in that. If it's the same trailer I saw, that you know,
Yeah.
I couldn't really give a shit about this. I'm sure we'll have to all go see it, but it was actually an effective jump scare. The first time one of them like made me jump a little bit in a long time. So
And
I
it's
got to
got-
give 'em props.
Got Thaisa Farmiga, so
It's got
Gotta
both
be good.
Farmigas.
oh, Vera's in it too.
I think. Well,
That'd be nice
Little Farmiga's in it. I don't know if Vera. I feel feeling she's going to make a cameo in like
as a nun, probably.
the post credit scene with the Warrens. Quickly, because of Comic-Con, a buttload of trailers hit. Did you see the Stranger Things teaser?
I did in the mall.
I didn't.
It's a commercial for a mall, like an '80s commercial
That
for a
was
mall.
great. I really like that.
And then the long-haired kid, that is it, Steve. He's like in the commercial, working at an ice cream parlor with another girl who's going to be a main character. And it sounds like the corporation that owns the mall. It's mentioned a couple of times in the commercial, so clearly I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, a great way to. It got me excited for the next Stranger Things.
Yeah, I saw
Did
that.
you-
That looked great.
Did you get Finn Wolfhard?
Oh god. Wait, was that
Oh,
a pedophile joke?
I'm done.
Boycott Hunter.
Aren't they all 30? Are they actually really kids?
They're going to time jump till when they're 30. Did you see the Godzilla trailer?
I did.
That had Vera.
I'm looking forward to drinking heavily and falling asleep in that one, just as I did with the other one.
Am I the only one who thought Vera's monologue at the beginning made no goddamn sense?
Nope.
Oh, the global warning. Global
I'm
warning.
with you.
Something about the monsters are to protect us or to kill us. Like I could not even tell. What is this?
I don't even listen. Like, whatever.
Looks
Yeah.
like a mess.
How about the Glass? I saw the Glass trailer.
I'm so pumped for this movie.
I think it looks good.
Yeah.
The only part is when he's Sabretooth running, like X-Men Origins Wolverine, when James McAvoy is doing that. It's towards the end of the trailer. It looks bad. But other than that, I'm in.
They can fix it. They have time to fix it.
Hopefully it looks as good as it did in X-Men Origins.
There's just the movie poster and the trailer show that at some point all three of them are incarcerated, and so that just feels like it's going to be
Yeah.
a tremendous part of that movie.
Yeah, I'm psyched for that.
I'm excited. I cannot believe it, but an M. Night Shyamalan movie, I am legitimately excited to pay money to see it in the theater.
Because he's been kicking ass and taking names lately.
One of the biggest
That's why.
turnarounds I can remember for a filmmaker. It's impressive.
Yeah. It's like almost like when Aerosmith was great, was shit for about 10
Yeah,
years,
actually.
and then came back.
He's Aerosmithing it. Yep.
Ow! Did you see
I think he's
Shazam?
about-
I did, and I love that trailer. I can't believe it. Like, I legitimately can't believe it.
There's not a chance.
Didn't impress me.
Oh,
I would watch
think
this.
it looks so funny.
I check out the Shazam ISIS hour if I can find it on YouTube.
They have some ISIS stuff on.
Yeah, I'd watch that. I hated, even as a kid, I hated Shazam. It just sounded stupid.
It looks like the superhero Big, and it looks like a step in the right direction for DC. But
that's all you need to say. DC.
yeah,
Done.
a lot of people are excited about it. I looked at it, was like, okay.
A lot of people are excited about Hump Day. It's just a lot of weird people out there.
Hey, man.
Hump Day!
It's directed by our boy David F. Sandberg, who did Lights Out and was it Annabelle Creation?
Oh,
So
all right. He knows what he's doing.
he's a good director.
Annabelle Creation, yes.
We all said we liked that movie.
It was fun.
It was dumb,
an
but it was fun.
experience. I refuse to watch it again.
I'm the same way.
I want to trap that experience in amber because my kids have watched it since at home and they're like, oh, it's still okay, but it's not like it was when we saw it live.
Yeah, it wasn't my jam.
I have a feeling it'll Last Jedi me, where I'm going to watch it again and be like, okay, this makes no sense, and I don't like it.
I understand why it all worked, and that's why I'm not revisiting.
And along those lines, did you see the Aquaman trailer?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It looks like just Justice League, but with more of him. I don't understand.
Awesome.
Did you see the CG in the trailer? What?
Yeah, when he's a little kid and all the fish are in the tank, it was very Night at the Museum.
I don't understand DC.
I don't know. They showed flashes of there's going to be a big Atlantean battle that looks like it could go very like the end of Wonder Woman, where you had a pretty good movie going and then it kind of lost its way in the last 10, 15 minutes. Potentially, I don't know. It's not as dark and grim as the other Batman, Superman, and Man of Steel, but you know.
Well, Justice League also upped the levity, and it's one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a winning formula.
So in that sense, it looks like Shazam takes place in this same universe and is a total change of pace from all the other stuff. So this could be the thing that they have this awesome comedy and just decide to, okay, you know what? From now on, they're going to be all comedies. Drop all this stuff and put Batman in his own universe with what's his name, Joaquin Phoenix, and forget about. Who knows?
We'll see. I have no idea. All I know is that Aquaman trailer. Whoo! That's
right.
The best stuff you got?
Not gonna do it.
That's all the news fit to print. Let's get to our movies.
I got one thing. It just dropped Friday while I was actually sitting at a bar, and I just like put my arms up like, yes! Everyone looked at me like I was an idiot. They are bringing back... I mean, I am an idiot. Everybody looks at me like that all the time, but it was a little more than usual. Joe Bob Briggs is coming back to Shudder sometime later this year. They didn't announce if it's going to be a continuing show or if they're just going to do specials every now and then, but they have announced he's coming back later this year. So anyone who didn't get to watch it the first time, should be another one coming up soon.
And you can still watch it on Shudder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have the whole thing on there.
They posted the movies.
Everyone needs to watch the Demons one, I'm telling you. It is just glorious.
It is.
Alrighty. With that, we're going to jump into a little bit of curation, talk about what we watched, and then we'll finally get into Unfriended.
Curation.
We have such sights to show you.
Hunter, why don't you go first?
Okay, I'll go first. I don't know if you guys remember this movie from the 70s. It's a classic. It's kind of horror. It's really more like a suspense movie. When a Stranger Calls.
Of course.
The famous line, "Did you check the children?"
The first 20 minutes are an all-time classic. The rest of it is...
It becomes a police procedural with trying to kill Charles Durning, who was about 350 pounds, running a lot. I remember that, and I remember being like genuinely concerned that he would die on screen, and for some reason as a youngster thinking, yeah, they wouldn't cut that out. If he died, they'd show us. Well, There is a sequel to it called When a Stranger Calls Back.
I talked about it a couple weeks ago.
You clearly don't listen when you're not on the show.
Nope,
It's unbelievable.
I know.
In fact, I'm pretty sure when I talked about it, you were on the show.
I probably was. Anyway, I
watched
watched
it on Prime.
Yes, I did. Because I had never seen it before, and it's Carol Kane, who I will always think of as Simca from Taxi.
And also
Scrooge.
Liar!
I mean,
Princess Bride.
yeah, she's hard to see in a serious role. She was the babysitter in the first.
I love her in Scrooged when she beats the shit out of Bill Murray with the toaster.
Oh, she's
great.
She's a very good actress, but she's so, I don't know. She's so strange. Anyway, in this one, Jill Schulen, who you might remember from The Stepfather and Popcorn and stuff, who has a great voice. I loved her voice. She is the babysitter. And you know who she reminds me of? Jocelyn Donahue. She's like Jocelyn Donahue of the 80s. Anyway, she's the babysitter, and she's watching kids. And in this one, there's possibly two people terrorizing her in the house, and these kids that she's babysitting disappear. Cut to 5-6 years later, and she's living in a college dorm, and Carol Kane is now Jason, what was she? Was she like campus police or something weird?
I don't remember. Was she the psychiatrist at the school or something like that? Or
something like that.
It was something weird, yeah.
I'm
not quite sure.
What are the odds that the same thing happening to a girl happens just where Simca Gravis is working?
A little high.
My favorite part of this is Charles Durning is back, because I love Charles Durning.
He's very good in this.
Yeah, he is. Although there's one scene where he's talking with her. She spends a lot of time talking about things, and at one point he's looking at her, and you know he's breathing real heavy, so they had to pull the mics back because he was much older at that point. And he just looks like he's going to fall straight asleep, and they just do this long scene on his face where he's just like completely disinterested and nodding off.
Rescue Me?
Oh, he was great in Rescue Me.
Remember the episode where he dies?
Wasn't that the Brooklyn Cyclones game?
Yeah, the ball game.
I almost cried when he died. I was so upset. Charles Durning in real life was at Normandy. Oh, he was one of the last surviving Normandy survivors. So, Carol Kane brings him into the case, and they're going to try to solve what's going on with Jill Schulen. I thought, again, they captured a lot of that tension of the first 20 minutes. I think they did a very good job with that. And then just like the first one, it kind of drags after it till you get to your end. But I had forgotten that I saw this when it came out. And then when they got to the very end, I was like, oh my God, this is the scene where blankety blank, blank, blank. Yep. For some reason, I had associated it with another movie because it's a great ending. Yep. I love that ending. So you got a movie with a really tight, good beginning and a freaking awesome ending. Dude, that is worth watching. And it's on Amazon Prime.
Beautiful.
We all liked it. You watched it too, right, Jack, not long ago?
No, I haven't seen it since it came out.
I think it might be a better movie than the first one. The first one hits a higher high at the beginning, but with consistency, I feel like this one's at least more consistent. It's a very worthy sequel. Everyone should check that one out.
I believe Mary Higgins Clark wrote it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think she did. I'll find out. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll look it up.
Jack, what do you got?
I did a double feature. I was in the mood for something, a little palette change from the usual horror. And I watched the new Murder on the Orient Express, which, from what I remember, my friend Hunter liked this movie. So I rented it. I never really watched many of the Agatha Christie movies from back when I was a kid, because they were kind of, back then I had no appetite for something that was that slow and talky. So I had seen bits and pieces of different Agatha Christie's, but I couldn't tell you one from the other. So I watched this movie and I enjoyed it. I felt it was like there was flaws in it all over the place, but I thought it was like comfort food. It was a sit back, be entertained by a cast of stars in a just kind of easy, digestible movie So it was where I go ahead.
Kenneth Branagh chewing up every scene he's in.
I thought he did a great job. He had the heavy part as the detective with the wacky mustache.
Poirot.
Now it's funny because I read some of the reviews, and some people just hated him in that role, and other people thought he was great. I thought it was good because Branagh is known for being, putting himself at the center of his movies, but in this case, he carried the movie and very well. So then I went back, and on Prime, the original Murder on the Orient Express is on Prime. So,
oh really?
So like the next night, originally I was gonna like wait a couple of weeks and watch it. I'm like, no, you know what? Let me watch them back to back so it's fresh in my head. And while I see the original one has an all-star cast: Lauren Bacall, Sean Connery, Jacqueline Bisset,
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp's in the new one.
Right.
The original. What's his name? Who's the guy who plays? Shit, I'm forgetting his friend.
Billy Barty.
No, the guy who plays the detective.
I have no idea.
I've never seen it.
I'll have to look it up.
I have, but it's been so long.
He's famous for that role, and he's Albert Finney.
Oh, Albert Finney.
Albert Finney. You ever see Looker? Remember that movie?
Yes.
He was in that.
I love him in Two for the Road with Audrey Hepburn. That's a great movie.
So let me, first of all, you remember that Jacqueline Bisset was beautiful, but holy moly, you go back and watch this movie and you're like, oh, she was like a goddess. Like,
yeah, she was.
The original, Anthony Perkins is in it. He plays the Josh Gad character.
Damn.
Anyway, there are certain things that the remake do better than the original. They tell the story a little bit better in places, and I think if I had watched the original, a lot of stuff I would have been like going back to be like, wait, what happened there? What? And there are certain things that the original does better than the remake, and you can't beat the star power of the first one. But again, I thought both of them were charming and enjoyable. So it was a fun back-to-back exercise. And again, these murder mysteries, like I'm used to really watching more of the parodies of these when I was a kid, like Clue or Murder by Death, which I'm planning on watching soon, and stuff like that. And every TV show, I always had the whodunit stuff. So it's fun to go back. So I might, over the next few weeks or months, track down a couple of other of these kinds of movies just for fun. But like I said, these were comfort food movies for me, just fun. And they're very similar story-wise. They don't really stray either way. So
read an Agatha Christie book. Super accessible. You would think that she just wrote them now. It's not like it doesn't age poorly.
I've never seen either one of those movies, and I've been meaning to. It's just one of those, every time I'm sitting down to watch one, I'm like, I'd rather watch this. And then I just never get to it. So I took
my mommy to the theater to see it. That's the only reason why I saw it.
All right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to go into my movie. Anything else you want to say?
No, go ahead.
I found a movie on Prime that I always remembered seeing the VHS cover in the 90s. I always saw this thing everywhere, and I never checked it out. Brain Dead from 1990.
Oh, yeah.
Paxton. The craziest cover with the guy's face stretched out. And it always looked crazy, and I just never watched it. Yeah, it's fine.
That's the old bait and switch era.
I know I saw that movie, and I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, it's not worth revisiting. That picture on the cover is in the movie for a minute, maybe 2 minutes at the beginning, and has really nothing to do with anything else. It's just a cool effect, and they wanted a cool cover. The version on Prime is a beautiful 4:3, shitty contrast, shitty resolution. It looks like they recorded it off of television in the 90s and then just uploaded it to Amazon. The storyline is, whatever. Don't watch this movie.
Well, look at it this way. It has two great character actors, Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton.
It does.
Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton?
Yes.
And George Kennedy.
Oh.
And Bill Paxton has very little to do in this. He's actually not in it that much. This is more of a Bill Pullman movie, and he's fine. It's just the story never grabbed me. I never really cared. It was pretty obvious where it was going, and it's a skip for me.
That sounds good.
It's a skip for me. I'm glad I didn't see it then. I wish I hadn't seen it now. Hunter.
Okay. I'll give a quick one. My wife, I said, what do you want to watch on Sunday? Anything you want to watch. What do you want to watch? She says, I really want to see Rampage.
Oh, boy.
I said, you mean the movie based on the video game? She goes, what video game? So she never played a video game in the 80s. There's no concept. I said, all right, whatever. And then we watched the coming attractions. I said, this looks actually, if I'm going to check my brain at the door, like I encourage people to do when they read my books, this should be fun. It actually wasn't too bad. It was as goofy as I thought it would be. I mean, it was dumb. However, the CGI was actually pretty good. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, he's actually, for a wrestler, he's a pretty good actor.
I mean, he plays The Rock in every movie, and it's fine.
Yeah, and he knows how to throw some comedy, and he's got some great timing. These monsters killed a shit ton of people.
Correct.
So that's why I'm sitting here going, is this a kid movie? No, that's not a kid movie. This isn't really an adult movie either. It's such a weird, I don't know where the tone was, where it was supposed to fall in this.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the trailer looks like he is doing like overdose Negan. Like,
oh yeah, he's totally.
Oh God, his character was so bad.
His accent was terrible.
Oh Jesus, that freaking, was it a silver pistol he had tucked in his waistband the whole time?
Yeah, I know.
What is this?
Like my grandpappy used to say, as assholes got to stick together. Hey, say that 5 more times, so that way we can never forget. But like I said, it's really fun when the rampaging happens. There's like one part where Dwayne Johnson's talking to like the female character in the movie, and my wife and I both go, "Shut up and make something blow up." Mm-hmm. And we're like, nobody cares about this part, and it's true. So it seems a little long, but I don't know. Like I said, you got an afternoon to kill, just want to chill and watch creatures beat the crap out of each other. It's not bad.
I've heard that movie seems like it's like you gave a 10-year-old like the chance to write a movie. Like, what would you like to see in a movie? Oh, I'd like to see. And maybe Jason said it when he was talking about it.
Yeah, I equate it to a kid's Saturday morning cartoon written by a kid. Oh, right. Then the wolf is going to get spines, and he's going to throw them through the air. And then the rock is going to get in a helicopter. He's going to shoot it. And then it's just like the dumbest movie you'll ever see. But if you can watch it with a 12-year-old, they're going to love it. You'll have fun with it.
And you also have to realize it's based on one of the dumbest video games you ever played.
Yeah, they couldn't screw the story up. It's a dumb movie.
Yeah, right. But I actually enjoyed it. I didn't mind it.
It did better than the latest Rock movie, the skyscraper movie that nobody saw.
That looked awful. Oh,
all his movies are very much blending together.
Yeah.
That's okay. All his paychecks aren't.
Yeah.
San Andreas made me want to drive off an overpass. So,
did it make you want to fall into a fault line?
Jack, please help me.
I saw one that you guys are going to go right out to after this is over and watch. I watched Demon House, which is Zach Baggins' Ghost Adventures. That movie where he heard about this very haunted house in Gary, Indiana, and bought it over the phone.
Yeah, my daughter told me about this. And she's a huge Ghost Adventures fan. And
so there's a lot of special effects as usual, reenactments and flashbacks and stuff. There's a lot of people acting like something is affecting them, or videotape of somebody acting weird, but there's not a ton of real evidence.
What
sounds like a typical Ghost Adventures episode.
Yeah.
How many times do you say bro?
So many times that it was a drinking game word and I was hammered.
Jack, did you appreciate the fact that it's an hour and 50 minutes long?
An hour and 50?
Yep.
It's way too long.
It's an hour too long.
The problem is really there's like these reenactments, and like he talks about this like goat band that he saw in a vision, and so they have like visions of that just are thrown in. You know how they do that interspersed stuff, that they're building. Oh, and they also like claim that the movie is this movie is cursed to try and scare you for watching it. I'm like, yeah, I'm scared. I'm watching it because I just lost 2 hours of my life. I'm gonna say I'm really glad I didn't pay to see this because it had been on pay-per-view, and then once I saw it was like on Prime, I was like, oh, okay. Now I'll watch it for the show's sake. But
was it better than
again,
Sir No Face?
No.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing.
Oh my.
This Sir No Face has way more like evidence to look at. This was more you saw a video and it's like, oh, the cameraman was overcome and here's him yelling at us and acting up. You're like, okay, well, anybody could just act that way. So, you know,
was anyone possessed by a spirit temporarily? Because he was doing that.
One guy gets sent to the hospital. Zach Baggins.
That's his shtick.
Gets injured.
Bro.
Like his supposedly has medical problems now.
How hasn't this guy been run out on the rails at this point? He is absurd. He's the P.T. Barnum of ghost hunting.
He's the only one still kicking, right? Everyone else is gone. Everyone else retired at some point.
Yep.
He's still going, bro.
Yeah. So I wasn't exactly. So he. I'm not going to give it away. I'll just say.
Please don't.
He made sure to keep some souvenirs from this super duper evil place, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's like selling. Oh, do you want, dirt from the site or something like that?
Maybe have a museum in his basement at some point.
So if you're curious to see what it's all about, it's on Prime now. But you're getting like just a longer, more produced episode of Ghost Adventures.
That's what the world was crying out for.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that. All right, I saw Death Wish, the new remake by Eli Roth, starring Bruce Willis, and Vincent D'Onofrio, and an appearance by Elizabeth Shue. So it was nice seeing her get some work. Big fan.
I have an editor who said he liked it.
You know what? It's not nearly as bad as the reviews made it out to be. I actually went and read the reviews afterwards because I didn't understand why it was so panned. I mean, it's not great, but it shouldn't have been panned the way it was. It's mostly political stuff. It's Death Wish, but it doesn't look as crappy as the first Death Wish, and it's not as brutal as the first Death Wish, at least the beginning that kind of starts everything off. But it does have a lot of Eli Roth gore, particularly in the last act or so. There's some pretty crazy things that happen. But it's not a terrible movie. It's, I'm not going to tell everyone to rush out and check it out, but there are really three things in it that bothered me a lot. There was a couple stupid things that happened, and one line of dialogue that was so bad I just wanted to just jump out the window. But otherwise, it wasn't nearly as bad as I expected. I kind of expected something to be a so bad it's good kind of thing, and for the most part, it's not. Bruce Willis was actually awake for this performance.
Oh.
Yeah. It's maybe not his best performance, but he was conscious. So that automatically puts it in the top 2 of the last 10 years. So, it's worth a view. You might want to wait. This might be a good one to catch on Prime, maybe. I don't know that I'd want to drop $6 again, but it's not as bad as everyone says. I'm
convinced that Eli Roth could have directed Gone with the Wind and people would just destroy it.
He's one of those guys that I watch his movies. I'm like, that was pretty good. And then I'm always like, man, if he didn't do those 2 or 3 things, I feel like people would have given it even more respect. But I don't know. It's a decent enough movie. So
cool.
Hunter.
All right, I'm going to the book world. Author Edward Lorne had put out a call, said if anybody wants to read his new book and give it a review, he'd send a copy. I jumped at it because I've been
a title.
anxious to read it. Anything by him. It's get ready for the title. James Gunn might be picking this up right now, pre-ordering. The Betting of Boys. Now,
yeah.
As I have said in my review, do not let this title stop you from getting this book. This book is exceedingly well written. I got to check out. I don't know. I don't know if he's self-published. I don't think so.
It's only $3, which made me think it was, but maybe not.
I'll
look it up while you talk about it.
It looks like it's self-published. It is. Here are your 3 main characters. You've got Regina, who likes to seduce and have sex with young boys and kill them. You have Nevada, who's a 14-year-old boy who's in her sights. And then you have Ghost, who is this strange ghost that hangs around Regina and cleans up all the messes she makes. So it likes to soak up blood and eat the bodies. And
That is weird.
She has no idea why it's there. She can't really communicate. It doesn't communicate back to her, but when she needs it, it shows up and it cleans up whatever disaster she's created.
Huh.
It's a very unsettling book. It's really good. The first act, I'm like going, how are these characters fitting together? What the hell is going on here? The third act, he ties this up so wonderfully. I almost wanted to stand up and applaud because it's just such a bizarre concept. And he wove them together and explained them why they're in this situation at this point in time. I thought it was so good. This is one of those.
Damn.
The title alone is going to stick with me, but the whole concept of the book and the book itself, I mean, it's one of those. It was so original and so out there. This guy, he took a lot of chances and he hit the mark. This is one of those that's really going to stick with me for a while. So check it out, man. The Betting of Boys by Edward Lauren. It comes out in August. You can pre-order it now for $2.99, and let me tell you, that is $2.99 well spent.
Damn. It's a glowing
Yeah.
review.
Yeah. The next one I want to read from him is The Sound of Broken Ribs. He has some great titles.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
So you know what his books are about from the titles.
Yeah, exactly. So check it out.
Jack,
Do you want me to do one more, or do you want to get to the main feature?
hit it. Go ahead.
Okay, I just watched this today. I watched a movie called Even Lambs Have Teeth.
Okay.
Anybody see this?
No.
No.
This was recommended to me by a friend who goes, "This movie's on Prime. It's only like an hour and 18 minutes. It's worth a look. It's not going to win any prizes, but just check it out and see what you think." So I have to report back to him later this week on what I thought. This movie it's like I Spit on Your Grave and maybe like that MFA movie. Like it's kind of like a rape revenge movie, but it's totally light. It's the Coors Light
rape revenge movie.
It's the Coors Light of revenge, of chick revenge movies. These two pretty girls are going to like do volunteer work at this like organic farm, and they get abducted by these redneck guys and held prisoner and briefly mistreated. But you don't really see a lot.
Right. I like briefly mistreated.
Then
there was digital insertion, but it's
because they some stuff is insinuated, but they don't show a whole lot. And like one of the girls gets it worse than the other. But then when they get away, they come back and exact revenge. And these girls kind of go from like victims to like kind of killing machines on a dime.
Nice.
And it's almost comedic, but it's not like intentionally a comedy. Maybe it is. I don't know. I gotta read.
Where the hell did you find this movie?
Like I said, a friend of mine told me about it, so I watched it. If you're looking for something light and short, it's worth a watch. It's just a good dumb horror movie.
What's it called? Even sheep have teeth? Or lambs?
Even lambs have teeth.
I've never even heard of this.
Yeah, and that's why, like, again, there's a lot of better movies you could watch, but this is short, and it's just the fact that the subject matter is like so heavy, and then it has such sort of a light, and then they kill time. There's like one scene where they're driving from one place to another, and they play like a song, and it takes them like 3 minutes to get from one place to the other because they play songs. Like I literally was fast forwarding it through the song. I was like, okay.
Well, it's on Prime, and it's only an hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah, I mean they fly through it, so it's almost worth watching just to see how quickly they go through everything, and all that. But so it's a low budget, silly movie, but it's kind of just for horror fans when you're looking for something short and silly to watch. I would say watch this movie.
I just added it to my watch list.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same.
This is a good one that if you have friends, you're over and you want to just kind of chit chat while you're watching something, worth it.
All right, I'm going to blast through my last two real fast here. I watched a movie just earlier that I had never seen. I've always wanted to. The Devil's Reign from 1975.
Oh, yeah.
Ernest
Shatner.
Borgnine, Shatner, Tom Skerritt. I even saw John Travolta. It was in it.
Yep.
Yep.
This movie makes no goddamn sense. It is hilarious, and I freaking loved it.
That's awesome.
This was so bananas and bizarre, utterly dumb, and
I have it on
awesome.
Blu-ray. I have a restored version on Blu-ray.
It has to be seen to be believed. In the first 10 minutes, like, what's going on? What? What's this about a book? What the hell? Like, who is this guy?
Ernest Borgnine's so great in this movie.
Oh, and his makeup is so bad.
Because he looks like almost like a Muppet villain.
Honestly, when they put the horns and shit on him, he looks dumb. When they just have his big bushy eyebrows and his teeth with a little space, he looks way scarier.
Yeah.
He looks like he's in a high school production of Beauty and the Beast or something.
It's so bad. But I will say the ending has to be seen to be believed. How they did that in 1975 and not get completely destroyed by censors is beyond me, but they did, and it's cool.
It was the 70s, man. Special time.
Just a completely stupid movie that I loved. It was great. And then I also read Jurassic Florida by Hunter Shea.
Oh, I'll log out now and you let me know when you're done.
I thought this movie was quintessential Hunter Shea. If there's two things you do well across every book, and I'm going to blow a little smoke here, you always do a really good job with characterization in a very short amount of time, so we don't have to get an enormous amount of backstory, but you have an absolute idea of who they are very quickly. And nonstop action. So
yeah, that was the goal with that book.
If anyone likes your stuff, this is perfectly in tune with your oeuvre. So I thought it was the quintessential Hunter Shea book. Well done.
Thank you, sir. That is the theme of the three books in that series. They are all of that same kind of pacing mania. Riders New Yorkers comes out in August.
I was going to say, what's the name of the third one? There you go.
The third one is The Devil's Fingers that comes out in October.
Oh.
Which is based on an actual fungus called the Devil's Fingers.
Yummy. Can't wait to read it. And it was that $2, I think, is what I paid for it.
It's $2, yeah. That was supposed to be a 20,000 word book. All of them were, and they were all 30,000.
That was a good length.
Yeah. 20, I couldn't fit it all in 20.
You got a lot of characters in there for a novella. So.
Yeah. I cut it down in Riders New Yorkers.
All right, this is the longest we have rambled before getting to the main feeture. As you can tell, we're not going to talk about it too long. But here we go. We're jumping into, what the fuck was it? Unfriended, Dark Web.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
All right, only two of us saw this, so this will be an extra short conversation. So I'm going to throw this one at you, Hunter. Can you give us a very just a very brief description of what this is?
Teenage asshole finds a laptop somewhere, uses it to access the files on it, gets online with his friends who are all going to have game night, and then the said owner of laptop is part of something that says, I want my laptop back, and then bad things happen to all the schmucks who are watching.
Now, before we get into this, I should say this is very much like the first movie in that it all takes place on the laptop screen of the main character.
Mm-hmm.
So if that sounds boring to you, then you're probably not going to like this. But did you like the first one? The first Unfriended?
I thought the first one was okay. I didn't see it in the theater, but I saw it at home. I thought it was a cool concept. I thought it's hip, it's now, it's with it. And I like the idea of using social media and stuff and all the technology for a horror story. So I thought that was cool, which is why I was not reluctant to go see this one. And this one was maybe my favorite movie of 2018.
So I thought the first one sounded dumb. I didn't want to see it. I went to see it in a theater, actually, and I enjoyed it. It had some things that I would have changed, but I thought it's maybe the most unique way to see a movie to watch a story play out that I've seen in a long time. There's only one other movie that I can even think of that's similar to it, and it's The Den, which a review just went up on the website.
That's a very good movie.
If you like The Den, these are similar-ish. Not there's differences, but kind of the same way of telling a story. And I thought they did a good job with kind of playing out the narrative for just, again, you're just looking at a screen. So you're seeing someone type their thoughts out and then they delete it. And then they type something else out and then they delete it. And so you kind of get a perspective of what they're thinking, what they're actually thinking versus what they're saying to other people. And I thought that was just an interesting narrative touch.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, I also thought looked really stupid, but I liked the first one. So I thought, oh, what the hell? We'll see how it goes. And I'll just go first. I actually liked this more than I thought. So for me, this was the same way the first one was. I went in with my expectations low. I thought they did some really good stuff. There were a couple things I would have changed, a couple things that really bothered me, and a couple things that I really liked. So I don't know. I kind of wish they would release these straight to Netflix or Prime. I think being able to watch it on your laptop instead of on a big screen, I wonder if that would add something to it, seeing it the first time. But
I think the smaller the screen, the more it just detracts from the movie because there's so much going on. All the windows that they're opening up and stuff. It's like seeing it in the big screen. I was like, wow, I can actually read all this stuff this time.
Oh, okay.
But I'm old. So that's a difference. Like if you have no concept of social media, this is garbage to you. You're not even going to know.
Yeah, it wouldn't even make sense to you.
Yeah. So if watching teenagers speed writing and opening up a million windows and closing and clicking and that, if that's not your thing, this is not going to be your movie.
So it sounds like this is not your thing.
Well, here's the deal. I took my daughter and her friend, my oldest daughter, old enough to drive me home, and I was after a long week. So I said, let's get to the theater early. I powered down 3 beers before we walked into the theater. Then I ordered 2, and I sat down. And even as drunk, because I was only ordering beer by ABV, the higher the better. And even drunk, I was like, I can't take this movie. I just kept looking at my daughter going, when is this going to end? She goes, I don't know. To me, it was really boring. I felt like it took forever for anything to happen. And to me, that's the biggest killer in a horror movie. If it's boring, then don't bother.
See, my wife had thought there were a couple boring spots too, but I never really felt a lull. No, I did feel one lull when there was a lot of talking and nothing happened around the middle-ish. But
you didn't feel a lull from like the first minute to the 50th minute?
No, I really didn't.
Wow.
I was into this. I put this on par with the first one.
Wow.
And some of it's because of the ending of the first one and the ending of this one. I thought the ending of this one was better than the first one.
Whichever ending you got, because there were 2.
Correct. Now, that was something else I wanted to talk about.
How do you even remember how the first one ended? Like, I saw that movie. I remember thinking it was like, that was very disposable. I can't believe, like, that you can go back and go, I remember how Unfriended ended. Like, how did that even retain in your head?
I was going to unfriend Jason for making me watch this thing.
I remember a lot of shit in movies. I don't know why. So this movie was shot in secret, and it was released at... Was it South by Southwest? Was the first time it was screened? No one had known it was shot.
Should have been released in secret.
It almost was. Nobody saw it. It was shot for supposedly $1 million, and it's made like 4 something so far. So I guess, again, Blumhouse wins, even though nobody saw the movie. And then apparently this movie had 2 endings in the theater. And I want to ask you either at the end of this or offline which one you saw. But they're very, very different from what I read. So I'm curious.
I think the one I saw was the most boring. And I don't know if I like doze. I don't know what happened to me because I was like, how did he end up there?
Let me tell you what's not
boring.
boring. There. What's not boring is the ending to Even Lambs Have Teeth.
Okay.
Oh, good.
That's good.
Maybe I'll watch that after this.
So I will say the one thing that bothered me the most with this is there were some continuity errors that really stuck out to me. Really? It particularly happens. Really interesting. It particularly happens when they take, say, the Skype screen is small in the corner and then it's blown up, and then it goes back to small. They clearly shot these at different times, and there's big jumps and movement and just things. that I didn't notice in the first movie that I really noticed in this movie. So I don't know. The first movie may have had those, but it stuck out to me a lot in this one.
Here's a question. On Facebook, when you're messaging each other, can you delete your message?
No.
Okay, so I was right. I look, I'm like, oh, that's bullshit. Can't do that.
Yeah, so that was a carryover from the first movie. Do you remember they were doing that?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. In the first movie,
bad guy sends messages, terrifying messages, and then deletes them.
The first one is the one where the girl commits suicide, right?
Yeah.
Because she was picked. Yeah.
Hey, guess what? You get that here too.
Okay. Now, is it a spoiler to tell us whether it's supernatural or not?
I don't. Well, so here's the thing. Apparently, it depends on which ending you saw. The ending I saw, it was not supernatural. So
do we call spoiler alert at this point? It's we're 1 minute after the hour.
I don't know. I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much. I don't think we really need to. But I mean,
I don't think you need to spoil it. So
was yours supernatural?
It did not seem supernatural. It seemed as in I don't know how I just got to this place, but I hope to God this is not a false ending.
I don't know what. I think you might have been too drunk then.
I might have been.
So
those
it not being
ABV beers were knocking me out.
It not being supernatural is one of the things I liked better than the first one. Is that in the first one there were things happening that were just utterly impossible, and in this one there are things that are a stretch, but knowing that the laptop was already compromised when the main character gets it at the very beginning helps to explain away a lot of it and smooth out a lot of the things that are like, whereas in the first one with it being supernatural, it was just, I don't know, I never felt super possible to me, obviously, because it's a ghost hacking a computer, but...
Do people in the chat room in that movie have a drinking game?
They need to call Sheridan.
The characters I found much less annoying in this one, too. Good.
Oh, my God. Just I hated every single one of them. I wanted none of them to live, which is another issue. If I have no one to root for in any movie, then I don't know what's going to happen.
That's kind of the whole series, though.
Sadly. I even forgot what I was going to say. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. I think if you're over 27 and 3 months, you might find this one difficult to swallow. That's my opinion.
They also moved things very quickly in this one. Say the moving windows and typing, and it's a little faster than the other one. I don't know if they did that for pacing purposes, or I'm not sure. But there was a couple times I was like, man, this kid is a computer wizard beyond my wildest imagination.
There were times when he was typing, like things were popping up that he was typing, that when you saw him, his hands were not doing anything.
He could get whole sentences out very quickly. I can type like 120 words a minute, and that kid smoked me.
It was crazy.
If you guys want a real horror story about the internet, just like look up what they're tracking whenever you're using Facebook or Google or anything like that. That's more terrifying than any of these movies.
Did you get the feeling that the thing behind this was like a Belko experiment-esque kind of group?
Yeah, of course. That was the story of the movie.
It was?
Did you get? Yeah. Oh my God, dude! Jesus Christ! I don't want to spoil it. There's a lot going on behind.
Don't spoil it, anybody. Don't spoil the movie no one's going to see.
The ending.
The name of the program was Belko.
But Blumhouse just took one in the nards on this one.
The ending I saw would lend very much to a series of sequels that they could do.
Thank God.
I don't know if they will. I don't know how happy they're going to be with this box office, but
can we say right now we're going to wait for VOD if that happens?
Sure.
No. Free VOD. I'm not paying for it.
I'm not paying to see this.
If you liked the first one, you will like this one. If you did not like the first one, you will not like this one. The narrative style is exactly the same.
From what I remember, I thought the first one was passable as a rental that I would immediately forget about. Just horror fan watching horror movie that was pretty dumb, but it was okay. But nothing that I would ever revisit.
But see, I liked the first one, and I did not like this one.
Well, just from talking to you about it now, I'm not sure how much of this you even remember.
Probably not much.
The
think you'd
writing,
have to
I will
pee
say,
3 times.
the writing in this one is significantly better than the first one. There are a lot of lines of dialogue in the first 15 minutes that come into play a lot in the last act. And I don't remember that being the case in the first one. So I was impressed with a lot of the callbacks from the beginning. So there you go. I liked it. I would wait for video on demand for this one.
I would buy it on Blu-ray and 3D disc and gift it to somebody you hate.
So were there people in the theater that saw it with you?
They put us in the biggest theater that they had, and it was about 1/8 full on a Saturday night at night.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I saw this Sunday afternoon, and there were a couple people in, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 of us, and there was a lot of crowd reaction, like to a surprising degree. A lot of crowd reaction.
This place was crickets.
Yeah,
if they had
so
played, if they had brought Lady Bird back in the theater next to us, it would have been more raucous and crowded. Than what was
there was a guy
here.
off to my right. I thought was going to shit his pants at every major plot turn. He was he was in it.
Was he covered in like nacho cheese sauce and by himself?
I never saw him, but he was loving the movie. Alrighty, so there you go. We have very differing opinions on this movie.
Hey, I was with a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old. I would think that's kind of like what they're going for, and they both hated it.
Well, but none of you are as smart as me, so of course you're not going to like it.
Oh, I always forget that. I'm sorry.
Come on, guys. Jesus. Get it together.
Can't wait to tell my daughter Jason says you're dumb.
So, that's right. Guys, she's
maybe she'll unfriend you.
So for next week, we were talking about doing some kind of a classic. We're going to put, what'd you say, maybe put a poll up in the Facebook?
Yeah, we should put on our Facebook page, we should put 4 movies up, and you guys vote. Whatever you pick wins.
So we'll put it up soon, so we have some time to watch it later in the week.
So I think I like the idea of us picking 4 movies, and then they pick from that.
Not allowing you psychos to tell us what to watch.
Otherwise, we're going to be watching Samurai Cop. So we'll do that this week. And anything else you guys want to throw out there?
No.
The reviews are still coming on the site. If you need a recommendation on a movie, go check it out. Movie review section of our page. It's growing quickly. Jack, anything else?
Just please don't unfriend me.
Never, Jack.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next week.
Good night.
Bye, jerks.